Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am so beyond excited for this video because we're going to be doing a full face testing indie makeup brands you've never heard of from around the world. And I started doing this series, we're calling it a series now because this is episode 2. And it was inspired by Manny MUA because he did a video testing indie makeup brands you've never heard of. I was slightly disappointed because there were so many brands that I'd heard of. So I did my original video, which I can link right here in case you want to see my first take at any brands you've never heard of. And now I just want to kind of keep going and give different categories and just have fun with it. It's not going to be a video I can do all the time because it's a little expensive, but today I decided to go ahead and do indie makeup brands you've never heard of from around the world, and I tried to get as many countries as possible. Did kind of try and have a balance, but I will say definitely buying makeup from Europe is the most accessible when you're in the United States as compared to some other continents, because like Latin America was a struggle trying to find places that would ship to me. I looked all over Etsy and literally nothing would come up. I tried to find something from Africa, and again I found a few small brands, but they did not ship to me. And then there's other countries where there's a language barrier, so I tried to do the best I can. I'm sorry this intro is so long, but if you are new here, my name is Amy and I love talking about indie makeup brands. It's just my favorite thing to do here on my channel, so if that sounds like something you're interested in, definitely don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now let's go ahead and jump on into this full face. It was a little crazy. There was some plot twists, some things that were unexpected. Okay, so jumping right on in, we're gonna go ahead and start off by prepping my lips with some lip balm, which is going to bring us into our first brand. That is Elate Cosmetics, and they are based in Canada. They were started by Melody, who has a very strong passion for sustainability. And one of the really cool things about them is that all of their packaging is called seed paper, which means that you can actually plant their packaging and it grows like it's made of seeds. It's so interesting to me. I never really heard about this until now, but it is a waste-free method to provide packaging for products, and they have an entire article on their website kind of detailing how to do it and what you need exactly to grow a plant with your packaging, which is so cool. So I'm going to start off with their Better Balm, which says it's a lip conditioner, and you can see they have really cool wooden packaging, which is definitely consistent through their products, which I'll show you more as we go on, but I think that's so cool and aesthetically pleasing. If you're not new to my channel, you might have seen me talk about this before, but there's a wooden palette that they sell that is just an empty magnetic palette, and it is so aesthetically pleasing and so high quality and sturdy. So I tried this quite a while back, but I didn't try any of their makeup, so I'm excited to go ahead and get to do that today. So there's what the balm looks like. It honestly looks like melted butter. Oh, it's like foamy. Oh, that's so interesting. Okay. It has a subtle scent to it, but it's not really reminding me of anything. It's a little bit more of a thin texture, but it's super glossy. We have more to try out from Elate Cosmetics as we go on throughout the video, but I'm just going to introduce each brand in order. So next we're going to jump into primer, and I decided to go ahead and try the Organic Skin Co., which is a brand based in New Zealand. They are a family-owned brand run by Megan and Lizette, who are sister-in-laws, and they also plant one tree for every single product that they sell. So I decided to go ahead and try their Primp and Prime primer, which just looks like this. It says it's infused with organic amla berry and pomegranate supercritical extracts. Our primer creates a smooth canvas for flawless makeup application. Primp Prime, it's time to shine. I actually did buy a moisturizer from them as well that I've been using the last like 2 months, and it smells like orange icing. It's quite delicious, so I'm excited to go ahead and try out the primer. It says, for skin as soft and smooth as midnight velvet, apply primer to face after cleansing and moisturizing. That was really weird. There was like a little net there and it wouldn't allow product to come out, so I kind of just broke it with my tweezers. Definitely kind of smells like pomegranate. It has like a little bit of like a sweet vanilla scent at the same time. Feels kind of like a light lotion. That's the texture. I feel like it added like a really subtle glow. Feels like it added just like a nice soft layer of hydration. I don't think it would be enough for me in the winter, but in the summer I think that that could definitely be a really nice primer. And it honestly feels pretty soft on the skin as well. Okay, so next I wanted to go ahead and include one indie brand from the United States because we're a country around the world as well. So this is from Clove and Hollow, which is a brand that I've not heard of until recently, but I was very curious to try them out. So we've got a few things to include today, 3 exactly, but I did buy like a almost full face of products to try out eventually, so I will be talking about them more on my channel soon. And also, before we even get into the foundation, I just have to mention this. I'm not using it today, but this is their blush. It literally looks like straight up nail polish, even a nail polish little applicator. Anyways, Cloven Hollow, like I said, based in the US, and they were started by Sarah. She's a professional makeup artist, and I believe every single thing in their line is vegan, and it's supposed to be more like clean beauty, but they also have a decent shade range because that is something I'm trying to make sure I look for, especially with trying to find small indie brands. Some of the shade ranges can be very sketchy, but they do have 12 shades of their foundation and 12 shades of their concealer, and it looks to be an overall even range. So the foundation we're trying today is called the Liquid Skin Tint. It's a tent. It's the Liquid Skin Tint, and it says it's clean 15, 93% natural, free from parabens, petrochemicals, animal byproducts, mineral oil, talc, and synthetic fragrance. Ooh, so that's really good if you have sensitive skin. I mean, I guess that's kind of the whole point of clean beauty, but no fragrance is definitely nice. And it says blend into skin with fingertips, brush, or a sponge, layer for desired coverage. So I figure on one half of my face we will try a sponge, and then on the other half we can try a brush just to see how I like it. Here's what it looks like. I grabbed the shade 01, the lightest shade they make. It says it's made in the US in Atlanta, Georgia. So, oh, well, the color actually looks pretty good. Honestly, from swatches, I thought it was going to be a little bit too dark for me, but it actually looks maybe even a little bit light. All right, so I just went ahead and took a little bit of that, and I'm going to go into a foundation brush just to see how that applies. Yeah, it's actually a little bit light. It's a little bit ghostly. I'm surprised, honestly. But because it is a lighter coverage, it should blend in. I feel like it has a nice finish, but I definitely have a bunch of redness going on right here that it's not quite covering up. I'm just going to go ahead and take a sponge now on the other side and then just pounce that in. This sponge is so loud. I don't know why my face is getting so red. I hope I'm not having an allergic reaction to something I just tried, like the primer. What the heck? It's like super red and splotchy there. Unexpected plot twist. Overall, I feel like the skin tint looks pretty on the skin. If I'm not focusing on the giant red splotches, I feel like it looks kind of glowy. It does look to be a little bit lighter than me. You can see kind of compared to my hands, but I've been getting out in the sun a little bit more because it's summer, so maybe this could be good for winter or for mixing, but I feel like I'm having an allergic reaction. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take like a 5-minute break and see if my skin calms down. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. I just wanted to come back and kind of show you what's happening with my skin. I feel like the redness is expanding. Feels pretty hot and uncomfortable, so I'm going to go ahead and take it off and then I'll be back. My skin is calming down a little bit. I took like a 30-minute break. I went ahead and primed with my e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer, and we're going to try the foundation again. I'm going to give it the primer the benefit of the doubt, and I'll try it again without using this foundation and see if maybe it was just the mixture of the two together or what that caused that. I'm just going to go ahead and apply this again. See how it goes. So the foundation looks a little bit less glowy without using that primer, but I do think that overall it looks nice. It looks soft on the skin. It's not looking dry or patchy or flaky or anything. So overall, I do like it, and I will definitely keep using it and trying it out with different primers and seeing what I can come up with. I think this with the Danessa Myricks primer would be so pretty. Now let's go ahead and try their concealer. Oh man. Do you see this? I will never understand why brands do this. When they do a concealer, and this is the lightest shade in both ranges, and yet the concealer is darker than the foundation. That doesn't even make sense. It makes me so annoyed. Okay, well, we'll see if we can make it work, but I could probably make it work with a different foundation, but because this is so light, oh my gosh, that's just the wrong shade. Wow. This is the struggle bus. I thought this was going to go a lot smoother. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and blend that in with my finger. I mean, I feel like it has a pretty finish to it. Just kind of like a nice light coverage. I could see using that with one of my foundations that's a little bit darker, so it doesn't look quite so crazy, but it's definitely not brightening at all for me. So it looks a little odd that my under eyes are darker than the rest of my face, but I do think that the finish of this is actually really pretty. It almost has like a little bit of a luminosity to it. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so for powder, I have this from Elate Cosmetics, which I mean, look at the packaging. It is super, super cool. This is their glowing setting powder, and it is actually kind of not the best packaging as far as like being functional, because you really have to press hard to push this down, and that like level of suction with having a loose powder, I feel like it is going to get pretty messy pretty fast. But I do think overall this is a cool idea and definitely something I would like recycle, reuse, of course. All right, so I'm not sure what exactly the color this is going to end up being, so I'm going to go ahead and tap some out. They did have a few different powder options. Ooh. Okay, that's a lot more color than I thought it was going to be. It's definitely not translucent. Doesn't look super glowy. Let's see. I need a brush. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and take some of that on a big fluffy blending brush. I turned my mirror over so I can see super up close, and I definitely do not feel like that powder is glowy. I'm also grabbing a little bit of that on a smaller brush and setting underneath the eyes. So the last product I have to mention from Cloven Hollow is their bronzing powder, and I accidentally bought the pan when I meant to buy the compact, but it's fine. It is what it is. So the shade that I grabbed is Cabo, which is the lightest bronzer, and I feel like it, I don't know how I'm feeling about the tone. Just go ahead and swatch it. Okay, so it is not powdery at all. Okay, so that's quite a bit lighter than I thought it was going to be. Just going to go ahead and pick up some on my bronzer brush. Start blending that in. I just went in with a little bit to start off with. So I definitely feel like it's not that pigmented, so I am able to kind of work and take my time and build it up, which is nice. I definitely prefer that kind of formula over something that's too pigmented to where I feel like I have to be really, really careful with it. So I feel like the tone of that overall looks nice. I definitely feel more myself once I get some bronzer on my face. All right, so next we're going to be jumping into a brand from Sweden, and that would be Odin's Eye Cosmetics. They're a small indie brand. I believe that they are indie, but honestly, trying to find information about them is quite hard. They don't have an About Us page. And when I was Googling stuff, I found some LinkedIn type of pages, but they were all in Swedish, which is right over my head. So I don't have much information to give you, but they do have a beautiful aesthetic, and I kind of have a funny story about them before we jump into the products, because they reached out to me and asked to send me PR, and I specifically kind of incorporated that into this video. This type of video in general can get expensive, you know, buying a full face of new makeup, all from different small indie brands all over the world. So I was super excited to get to include them, and at that time, when I was planning this video, I'd only ever heard 2 people talk about them on YouTube, which is my limit for this video. And now, like in the last 2 months, as I've been waiting for all of my orders to come in, it seems like they've completely blown up on the small beauty community side. So I'm sorry if they are a brand that you've heard of. Well, I'm sorry that it doesn't perfectly go with this video, but I still wanted to include them. I'm sure there's still plenty of people who have not heard of them, so I'm excited to talk about them, and their products are super, super cute. So we're going to go ahead and start off with their Solmane, I'm so sorry, highlighter palette, and I'm going to jump into the shade Soul, right, this one right here, as blush today. I mean, look at that. Oh, that actually does look more like a highlighter. Dang. Oh, I thought that was going to be dark enough to be blush, but it's actually quite light. Oh, goodness. Okay, one second. 1 second. Okay, I have a blush from Elate Cosmetics, which I'll just go ahead and pull out because it's so cute. Look at this packaging, you guys. Ready? It's the little things, right? It is so cute. Okay, so this is the shade Desire, and it is their pressed cheek color. So I'm going to go in with that instead, just because I feel like that other highlighter palette is just, it's more highlighter. I thought it was going to be darker. I thought it was going to be a blush for me, but we have other products from them that we're going to incorporate into this video. I'm just going to go ahead and pick up some of that. Just pop it on. Like a very, very natural shade. For me, it's kind of like a soft pinky mauve or mauve. I feel like that blended in just fine. It's a very, very pretty shade, just something I could see using every day. And honestly, I'm just really, really here for the packaging. That's what sold me on that. Like, tell me they're not the cutest. Okay, so I'm going to take a pause on my face and we're going to go ahead and jump into eyes now. And we're going to start off with some eyeshadow primer, which I'm super excited about because I'm finally going to be trying Crow and Pebble. I have 2 different primers here that I picked up. So I grabbed the white shade, which is called Blank Page, which I really love because, like, I don't know, there's something so aesthetic about like a freshly primed eye, and it's like a blank canvas. So I don't know, Blank Page is cute. And then this other one is called... Wait, no, that says Blank Page. Blank Page is not the name. This one is called Cotton, and this one is called Parchment. So Crow and Pebble is a UK-based indie brand, and the owner's name is Karen. She is a one-woman show doing all of this herself, and every single product that she makes is inspired by some aspect of storytelling, and I think there's a lot of really cool references in all of her names and the inspiration behind her products. I do have a lipstick that I got as well, which I will try at a later time, but I'm so excited to finally try these eye primers, especially because I have done so many like full face of indie brands, and there's certain things that I leave out because I just don't have an indie brand version, and one of those things would be eye primers. So I'm really hoping that I end up loving these. I'm going to go ahead and do a swatch of both just out of curiosity. So like I said, this is Parchment. It's kind of creamy. That looks like a good shade for me. And there's other shades as well. There's multiple shades. So there's Parchment, which is pretty much kind of right with my skin color. It's a little bit yellow. And then here is Cotton right underneath it, which feels a little bit more sheer. But they have a nice, like, creamy texture to them. They don't feel like they would be drying on the eyes. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use the shade Parchment today, and I'm just going to apply that with my finger. The packaging and the texture kind of reminds me of like a MAC paint pot, but this definitely feels a bit more creamy. And also, being super fair, I used to always buy the Painter Lay, and then I tried Soft Ochre before I went cruelty free, and neither of them were light enough truly to be eye primers for me. So if you're looking for like a lighter alternative, maybe this would be good. That's just me speaking on touching it. Of course, I haven't worn it throughout a day or applied eyeshadows on top of it yet, so let me maybe like slow down on recommending it, but it does feel nice. All right, for my eyeshadow, I'm going to be using 2 different brands, and I'm going to start off with the Odin's Eye Solmane palette, the eye version. I'm not sure exactly what the name is, but here is what it looks like. And honestly, when I saw this in person, I was absolutely blown away because the colors are so pretty. This color here looks absolutely stunning. I love the pop of purple. So I think I'm going to be focusing more on the mattes in this palette today. And then for my shimmers, I'm going to pull in some palettes from Enchanted Cosmetics, which is an Australian indie brand. They actually did send me in PR the new Dragon Prism 2 palette, but it's been a hot minute. It hasn't arrived yet, so I thought I'd just go ahead and pull some of their older palettes, and I will talk about that one whenever it does eventually reach me. So Enchanted Cosmetics is run by Ritu. I really hope I'm not butchering her name, but she is so sweet from every interaction that I've had with her. And I thought it was really interesting on her Etsy. She says that she has an honors degree in biomedical sciences, a diploma in early childhood education, and she's also a freelance makeup artist, and she's a brand owner. I just feel like it's so cool when women just can do it all, and it's just, I feel like it's super empowering. So I previously have bought their luxury Chromebow palette. I think this is the most expensive indie palette I've ever bought, but it's full of like more textured shadows. There's what that one looks like. And then they sent me the Dragon Prism original palette, which looks like this. Again, super textured shadows. So I thought I'd pull in one of those shimmers today and do a little Swedish Australian look. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with that purple matte shade. So I'm just feeling the eye primer, making sure it didn't crease, and it didn't, and it also feels set down now. I'm just gonna go ahead and grab the purple, throw that through my entire crease. I think it's a little bit more on the buildable side, but it is blending out nicely. I just absolutely love this kind of purpley tone, and I feel like even though I'm kind of basing the look around it, I love, ooh, it creased a little bit on that side. I love that this is the pop in the palette, especially because it's matte. I just feel like it really stands out. I'm also going to go ahead and smudge that shade along my entire lower lash line. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and take this deeper brown right here, and I'm going to take a little bit more of a precise crease brush, and I'm just going to add a little bit of depth to this, hoping the brown will look more plummy with this purple. Also, while we're here chatting, the two people that I saw mention this originally, or this brand, would definitely be Angelica Nyqvist. If you're not familiar with her, I absolutely love her, but I am biased. So check her out. I know she's done a few videos with Odin's Eye. And then also, I believe I saw Paulina's Beauty talk about them a while back as well. They're both Swedish YouTubers, so I will have both their channels linked down below. All right, I feel like it's blending really easy. Very user-friendly shadows, I would say. All right, so now I know exactly what I want to do. I'm going to do a really like kind of fairy purple look. That's the vibes I'm feeling. And I'm going to go into the Chromebow palette and take this shade right here, which is like a purple with like a green shift to it. It's really pretty. I don't know if you can kind of see the green there. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply that on my eye. I'm so sorry about how chipped that nail is. I'm embarrassed. You see the green shift right there? It's a little bit more subtle, but it is very, very pretty. And then I'm just going to go back into my crease brush and lightly blend that over. I'm also going to go ahead and take this shade as well right here and use that to highlight my inner corner. Just adding a little bit of sparkle. I don't have any eyeliner, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw a black one in my waterline. Okay, so now for mascara, we are going to be trying an Italian indie brand, and this is the We Makeup More mascara. We Makeup is actually based in Milan, Italy. Very bougie. That's what I was thinking of when I saw that. And I couldn't find that much information about them again, but I did see that they are a small brand of only 11 employees. I've picked up a few things from them, but I'm really excited to try the mascara today because, for one, the mascara I've been using is pretty much done, and I've heard really good things about this one, again, from Angelica. Angie, she has great recommendations, so I'm going to go ahead and try it. It's just a black shade, and the packaging is pretty sleek. Oh, the wand's definitely kind of a little bit smaller than what I'm personally used to, but maybe that'll be better. It's very dark. I feel like it's doing a good job at giving length and separating my lashes. Maybe not as much volume as I'm used to, but I do like the overall look. I feel like that just looks super black. I don't even know if that makes sense because, I mean, most mascaras that I use are black, but there's just something about the pigment on this one. It looks very, very rich. All right, so I really like that. I feel like it's definitely something I'll have to keep testing long term, but I feel like it did a really good job with my lower lashes, and overall just seems like a nice mascara. So I'm very excited about that. Again, that's another product where typically I'm like all indie, and then I'm gonna get to mascara and I'm like, two-faced. You don't even know how excited I am right now for this next product or this next brand for two different reasons. One is because we have a Russian makeup brand to talk about. I feel like that's super cool. From Russia. Took a really, really long time to get to me. And And they sent Russian candy with it. I'm so excited. Like, my lifelong dream is to just eat candy from around the world. Sometimes I'm a little bit weird about eating food that comes in packages, but I'm like, I'm willing to take the risk for this one. So I figure we'll try the product and then we can do a little taste test for some Russian candy. Is that exciting, or am I just hungry? So this brand, I don't know if I said it yet. I probably didn't. This is Asgard Queen Cosmetics. They are available on Etsy. They are run by Anastasia, and they're inspired by Norse mythology. Everything is handcrafted, and in the package, they actually have a thing that if you do send back your refills, they will refill them and take off like 40% of the price or something. And they said even if you don't want them refilled, they recommend sending them back so that they can be recycled and reused or something along those lines, which I think is super cool. I think it would be a little bit ridiculous for me to do that, sending it back from like the US all the way to Russia just to recycle it or to reuse it. And on their little note here, they said that they put a rune stone in my box. This rune is called the Kenas, or, oh wait, I think it's pronounced Kano? Oh Lord. A mess. It's the rune of inspiration, creativity, and passion, which is so cute. Here is what that looks like. They did send me a few extra things in here because they caught my order and they knew who I was, which is so sweet. But I did go ahead and purchase majority of this myself, and the product that I'm going to be testing out today I did purchase. I actually bought a blush from them as well, which I was specifically planning to use it for this video, but it came completely smashed. So I need to go ahead and repress it and put it back together and see what I can do with it. But we have a face highlighter to try out, and they actually have it in like little chapstick tubes, which I think is cute. This is the shade Gersemi, and it looks to be kind of like a pinky iridescent highlight. I'm like running out of swatch space. Do like right here. Oh yeah, you see that? Just has a really pretty subtle kind of pink shift. Okay, so I'm a little bit kind of nervous. Like, should I use my finger to do this? It's not like the creamiest highlight ever. I feel like if I were to go ahead and put it on my face, then maybe it won't blend as much. Maybe I'm better off putting it on my finger. Which, I mean, I don't know if you can see, it's giving like a very, very subtle pink shift. On this side, I'm going to go ahead and apply it. Oh yeah, see that? I think for this type of packaging, it could be a little bit creamier. That would kind of help with the application, but it is a really pretty soft pink shade. I feel like that's like a really great duochrome for someone who likes more of a subtle highlight. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. I don't know why I'm even looking at the candy because, like, I can't read anything. But it does look like it's going to be something nutty. Looks like chocolate. That's promising. It actually tastes like a Snickers without like so much artificial sweetness. It's delicious. I'm not even like a Snickers kind of person, but I like this. It's like not too much. Next we have this one, which I'm a little bit less excited about because it says so cherry, and I mean there's cherry pictures and I don't like the taste of cherry, so I suspect that I won't be liking this, but I am always willing to try something once. Oh, that looks so interesting. Is that normal? Is that paper stuck on it, or do I eat that? That's definitely paper. Okay. Wow. That's paper, right? Yeah, it's definitely paper. I've got to stop eating that. Okay, so I'm just gonna try and like finagle a little bit of this out. And then maybe I could try and get the paper off later. Nope. 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 I'm not a cherry person. I'm not. I like the paper more than I like the cherry. That's super, super fun that that's in the package. I think it's because I got like their little mystery box. And I'm like, I will order more makeup if you send more candy. Okay, so last but not least for lips, I am so excited about this one as well. I do have 2 lip liners from We Makeup, and I'll probably end up using one of them, but I have to decide on what lipstick to use first because I went ahead and made a purchase to Necromancy Cosmetica, and I'm so excited about these because they look so beautiful. They are an indie brand based in Puerto Rico. They are owned and run by a couple. Their name is Des and Zal, and they are very small. They kind of talked about on their website how they do everything. They have a graphic designer, which I think their name was Josette, and then everything else they do themselves. And all of their products are 100% vegan. They also have a ton of really cool colors. So if you're looking for unique lipstick shades, then they could definitely be something that you would be interested in. But they also have a nude collection. So I bought 4 of them, of course. All the lipsticks I bought are matte lipsticks. I'm not sure if that's true to every single one in their line, but here's the packaging. I mean, it's very interesting. It says "Bury Me" in this shade, and then here's what the actual tube looks like. So it just says Necromancy Cosmetica, and this is the shade Lestrange, and it is a little bit more of a cool toned nude. That one looks really pretty. I mean, all of these look promising, so I'm gonna go ahead and swatch them all on my hand for you guys because I don't know what I'm gonna use today. So this next one is called Divine Flesh, and it's a little bit of a darker, almost like kind of browny nude. And then we have Healing Stone, which this one, I mean, I really like the tone of that one. It looks kind of like a beigey shade. And then we have Paper Flowers, which is kind of another cool tone, but a little bit more like mauve-y. So here's Lestrange. Definitely really like that color. It's very, very true matte. And then here is Divine Flesh, just a little bit darker. Here's Healing Stone. And then we have Paper Flowers. I mean, they all look pretty, but Paper Flowers I definitely think is going to be the one that goes best with this look. So that's what I'm going to do. And then, of course, we have the 2 lip liners from We Makeup we can pull out real quick. So I got the shade 09, really creamy. It's a little bit of like a deeper brown. That is the shade Hula Eye Umber. And then the other shade is Marsali Nude. And it's the shade 02. It looks a little bit lighter, a little more pinky. I don't know if either of those perfectly go with this. I think I'm going to use the umber one. We'll just give it a try. I can't believe how creamy this is for a wooden pencil. Slightly blending that down a little bit so it's not too harsh. I feel like that shade is very unique. It's not really quite something that I have because it's like mauve-y, but it's like almost greigey. Really cool. The formula also feels pretty comfortable, but I did leave that Better Balm. It just reminds me of butter. The Better Balm underneath. I didn't wipe it off. Alright, so this is the finished look, and I do like how it turned out, even though this video was kind of like a roller coaster. So shout out to you if you made it all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found out about some new brands you haven't heard of before, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.